Okay, so this brand of spray adhesives is crap. Don't use it. This one's actually working out better. Let me show you the differences. When you spray this one, I don't know if you can see it in the video, it's just a fog. It's real thin. And if you notice, this one will actually spray in a heavy coat of like stringy type adhesives. This is a really good kind of spray adhesives, but also make sure you wipe off the excess on the tip, because it'll get it clogged up where it don't want to spray. Now, expensive cans, you don't want to have to throw them away. Okay, and that roll of carpet, it's going to have a bad crease in it because the way they rolled them up. We have to try to pull this out and then lay that board down. Yeah, you're going to want to flip it over. As you can see, we just got it turned over. We're going to press down and rub it in real good. Okay, this is going to be the pattern of the cut of the carpet. And we're going to call it our stair stepper. The reason why we cut in these angles, you can tell that we're going to overlap, and then we're going to wind up going inside there. And then this one, of course, is going to go first. It's going to just wrap around and go inside there. Of course, this is what it's going to look like when we get finished. It's going to go all together that way. So let's come over here and we'll go ahead and demonstrate the cuts. Alright, we're going to come this way. So that's going to fold in that way. This one's going to come in. Okay, we're going to come in right there. We'll cut our height off of this. Make sure we got that good. Yep. And then cut this one off. Get the same height. Okay, that's right. Okay, then we're going to cut off right here. Completely off. We're going to go over the top and we'll cut this one and then this one. There's our stair stepper. So we're going to go this way, this way, this way, and this way. That's it. Okay, we got all of them cut out. And remember, the long sides are going to be the ones that's going to have to fold in first. And when we glue that together, we're going to spray both carpet and the wood, let it get tacky, and then stick them together. It causes a better holding of that glue. And then after we get the two sides over, we're going to flip these over and do the same thing. Okay, we got all the adhesive on there. We let it sit for a little while. You want to pay attention on how you put the carpet and roll it up. You want to make sure you pull it up real good and tight and rub it in real good. I'm going to put all this on there. Get all the wrinkles out of it. Go ahead and fold some of this in. Roll this over. Pull it real good and tight. The adhesive will hold pretty good. It sticks real quickly. You are able to pull it back off if needed. Alright, let me show you how this is all going to lay in place real quick. We're just going to come through and cut all these off. This blade's getting a little dull. You need to get you a good pack of them. You wind up going through all these, cutting this carpet, it dulls them up. Alright, we got that in there. We're going to fold these in, stick them down. And of course we go all the way around the board doing the same thing. Then we'll come in and cut these off just to make it patternize. Make it pattern look. Alright. Okay, we got the two ends together, and like I said, we're going to do these first, and then these are going to be last. I got the adhesives on there. We're going to just pull this up, stick it in there. Everything just falls in place after you cut the carpet just the way you need it. Fold it in. there's that. Okay, the board's wrapped, everything's good. Now we're going to cut out the holes, just demonstrate how we're going to get all these cut out and laid in there right. We're going to cut just across out of it, and then we're going to cut more in one in between every one. That way whenever we lay the excess carpet in, it goes all the way through there just right. We're going to do all three of them. Whenever you get them all cut, just going to flip the board over. You notice that you lay those all flat out, and then you're going to spray your adhesives in real good and go all the way around it on all three of them. That's good. Alright, once your adhesive had set up a little while, you're actually going to push this through. Just lay those over. You actually go underneath, it's a lot easier. The adhesive ought to hold it in pretty good. And of course, putting these together, or just this one, is taking about an hour, plus, you know, dealing with the video and stuff. So if you wanted to build a set, well, it should only take you a couple of hours to get two of them done. And this will complete just a regular standard washer boards. But we're going to add netting and stuff for the washers, so you ain't got to pick the boards up every time you get a washer in there. Let's turn it over and see what we got. I have to work them in a little bit better on the corners and around the holes there. And there you go.
Okay.
Alright, all we did was drill out three of these holes with our 4-inch hole saw, the same saw we did with the washer holes. And drill three of those, and we're going to cut these out in just small squares.
Action.
Okay, this is our cutouts that we made. I'm just sanding them down. That's all you need. It ain't got to be a perfect square, but these are just gonna we're gonna glue these down on the bottom of the board to hold the netting. Pick yourself up some just cabinet grip liner, real cheap, not too expensive. We're gonna wind up cutting 3 of these per board, and we're gonna need some extras for the bottom of the netting. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out all I need. Okay, the quick tip. We got this rolled out. This is a 16-inch level, and I think it's a 2-inch wide. This actually is a perfect level for this application, because when we go to make our patterns, we're going to wind up cutting. Here's one of those. Just use the level as our measuring device. And once we get that done, you're going to wind up cutting this in half. Just eyeball, it ain't got to be perfect. We now have all of these enough for 2 boards. The lining, we're just going to cut out about 1 inch past our tube device here. We just eyeball it. We don't have to measure nothing. We need, of course, 3 of these per board. Okay. Alright, out of that one strip, we got our 3 for this board. We have everything pretty much for every board. All we had left over was this, so it's going to take 1 roll, probably 1.5 rolls to complete a set. So I would definitely get 2 rolls of lining if you're going to do a set. Okay. Alright, I'll get started on the, we'll call it the octopus. We're going to line up the top of the liner on the inside of the level. You'll see why I'm doing all this later on. And then we're going to take and go 1 inch and make a cut about every other inch or so. And we're going to come down here and cut the first 2 off. You'll notice we have a tab this side, so whenever we use our can, we're going to put this on this place. And we're going to spray some adhesives on one side and then spray the adhesive on this side. You got to have 2-sided adhesive spray. We're going to wrap that around that can. You're going to notice the tab's going to go over, and that's going to glue there. Okay, I got my adhesives on there. You don't want to pull this real tight, because you're going to have problems getting it off that can. So you just want to kind of barely put it on there. And then we got that on there. That can is for our pattern for this device here, our little octopus. Get this off of here. You notice what it looks like when we get it off of there. And we need 3 of those per board. Okay, we got all 3 of these put together, which kind of look more like a skirt. Anyway, we'll call them skirts. Alright, these 3 squares here, I'll show you what we want to do with that. I'm going to take that can, I'm going to place it in the center. That's why I like using the plastic tables. Stuff slides on it pretty easy, so we can actually go around. And we're going to cut a ninja star. And go all the way around it, cutting us a ninja star. Definitely use a table that you don't want scuffed up, I'll tell you that. What it's going to look like when you're finished. Need 3 of those cut out. Okay, we got our board back in play here. We got all of our stuff cut out. This is where our plug is going to take place. We're going to slide this underneath there. And it fits perfectly because those are actually the cutouts of it. We're going to take one of these skirts and we're going to bring out the fins out of this thing. Push it all the way down. Make sure the top of this is all the way down to your plug, to the top of the plug. Just have to work it down there. It don't have to be exact, but whatever's close. I'm going to take a stapler and staple these all down. You don't necessarily have to do that degree. It's just going to catch a water. So you get a staple in every one of them. Alright. We're going to take this, our ninja star here. We're going to spray our adhesive just on the tips of the blades of this thing. Of course, we're going to let that dry. Not completely, just to where it's tacky. You can actually spray some lightly around there because you don't want to stick to your plug. Alright, we're going to take that star and just put it over the top. I'm actually going to pull the 2 corners, go direct opposite and push them down. That's what happens when you don't let it sit long enough, it doesn't stick. Once that gets running, yeah, your hands are going to get pretty nasty with adhesives. Once you get that on there, you're going to work that plug out of there. Sometimes it can be difficult and sometimes it won't. There we go. There we go. The results of that. Then you got yourself a little net. And then we're going to take our cutouts that we were talking about. Put some glue around here. Set this up. Put this inside out. I'm going to take this and put it over there, make sure you get it good and centered. Stay right here. Now if you need to, you might have to hammer them staples in if they don't go in all the way, but looks like I got them all in there pretty good. Hold that in place. Do make sure you get plenty of nails in your gun. Alright. Get that picture from centered. And there you go. Shove this back through there. And take it. Cut all our access off. And here's your hole. Okay. One more thing I wanted to add is the shorter the nail, because we're using 2 3/8 types. You don't want to get a half. I think these are 3/4. That way we don't go all the way through and you don't step on the nail. Alright, all finished up, and just the spray adhesive is actually the cheaper one. Did work out fairly well. It's just hard to see. To add the nets, it only took about 35 minutes. So you're looking at, if you wanted to do the whole thing, it's about an hour and 35 minutes per board. And that finishes that. Then you're going to add the eye bolt. We just take an eye bolt, screw it in. Well, it's the other end, and we whatever jack chain or rope, whatever we want to use the distance.